As far as dead money, so we lost dead money. Getting rid of Carl Nassib, you lose about 1.6 there. Getting rid of Corey Littleton, that stuff hasn't taken into an effect yet. It takes into effect June 1st, but you lose some dead money there. The key aspects where we lost some dead money so far, or accrued dead money, I would say, is with the release of Nick Kwiatkowski and the release of, or the trade of Unique Ngakoue. The trade of Unique Ngakoue accrued $8 million in dead money. So unfortunately for the Raiders, as far as dead money, we are 8th highest in the NFL, right behind the Steelers, right above the Jaguars, $23.3 million in dead money this year. So we saw that we had a healthy amount of cap space. That is completely dwindled. Once I find out an accurate cap space number, I will let you guys know. But to be completely honest, there's so many moves that have happened thus far where I think it would not be wise to even sort of try to create a number as far as cap space right now. It's very premature and it'd be very difficult to do so. So we just know how much dead money we've accrued. The deals for some of our players have not even been completely worked out, right? Worked out in general. So we'll see what happens there. What did we do? What did we do? And you know what? I think we did some great things. We signed Chandler Jones right off the bat, $51 million, 3 years. What I liked about this, and I found out later with Ian Rappaport, checking at some of the more confirmed numbers, was the fact that we're paying him like $32 million guaranteed. I mean, that tells you that Chandler Jones is going to for sure be here for 2 years. So if you were going $32 million guaranteed for Chandler Jones, to me, that's just saying straight up, okay, spread that out. $50 million the first year guaranteed, $50 million the second year guaranteed. Yeah, maybe the third year you could eat some dead money, but the amount of cap he's going to take up, $17 million in cap space from what I understand, is going to be higher than the dead money in year 3. So you still have an option to move away from Chandler Jones in year 3 of this contract if it is not fully working out so far. Gives you some leverage there to maybe trade him if you have to, but I anticipate we're not going to have to do that. I know Arizona moved on from him, but you know Arizona's having to pay a lot of people. They got D-Hop, they got Kyler Murray, they got to worry about in the future. This guy was effective. This guy was awesome last year, right? I mean, he had I don't want to say these words, but he had an illness in 2020 that set him back. 2021, Chandler Jones really came back, bounced back, had a great season last year. Amazing numbers, and we'll get into those in just a second in the show. I really like this move off the top. I mean, like, to me, it's not always about the film. It's not always about the stats. And like, if you look at Chandler Jones, you know he's a great player. He's a future Hall of Famer, even at age 32. Keep in mind, people are trying to act like this guy is like a senior citizen. Khalil Mack's 31. Chandler Jones is 32. So don't freaking tell me Chandler Jones is old, or else you got to freaking call Khalil Mack a geezer as well, okay? Call him an old geezer as well if you're going to throw shade at Chandler Jones. I like this move. I like this day of free agency. To me, it said, hey, solidifying the defensive line. Bilal Nichols, defensive tackle for Chicago Bears. A lot of Bears fans really like this guy. 2 years, $11 million, $5.5 million a year there. A good portion of it is guaranteed, so Bilal Nichols will also be on this team for the next 2 years. So the way I looked at it with the Crosby extension, with the signing of Chandler Jones, the signing of Bilal Nichols, the trade for Rock Ya-Sin, Unique Ngakoue for Rock Ya-Sin straight, we were kind of surprised by that. Remember, we reacted to that live and we were like, is there going to be a pick involved? Like, is it going to be Rock Ya-Sin and a pick?
A lot of people thought there were picks involved, but no, straight player for player.
Player for player.
Yeah.
And hey, I hope it's worth it. And you know what? If it is straight player for player, what I will say is that means that Josh McDaniels, the coaching staff, Patrick Graham, they think Rock Ya-Sin's a starter. Like, because Unique Ngakoue, you're eating up $8 million in dead money. You're giving away a player who was a captain on this team. Look, Chandler Jones is better than Unique Ngakoue, so it does sort of make Ngakoue redundant in a lot of ways. And to me, you trade for Rock Ya-Sin straight up. Yeah, Rock Ya-Sin is on a 1 year, $2.5 million contract, but at the same time, like, this guy was a second round pick. He was pick number 34 in the draft in 2019. So like, they're serious about this guy. They gave up Unique Ngakoue for him. They didn't get any picks in return. And it looks like they think he's going to be somebody to start, somebody who could start for this football team. Right after this happened, I remember we went and got lunch. You know, everybody kind of calmed down. Raider Nation chilled out after the Chandler Jones, the Rock Ya-Sin move. Bilal Nichols happening in the morning just the other day. But then out of nowhere, Anthony Everett, and I actually thought it was a fake story when I first saw it circulating Twitter. Anthony Everett signed the cornerback 1 year, $4.5 million. Gonna make more than Trayvon Mullen this year because Trayvon Mullen's on his rookie contract. Anthony Everett is also going to make more than Rocky Ya-Sin this year because Rocky Ya-Sin's in the last year of his rookie contract. So I don't know how much is guaranteed with this Anthony Everett move, but we found out by his agent it was $4.5 million just the other night. And what I'll say about this is, look, do you pay a guy $4.5 million to sit on the sideline? Bilal Nichols, you have him at defensive tackle, solidifies the defensive line. And then I felt like we solidified the secondary. I mean, Jonathan Abrams in the last deal of his contract, and then you have Trayvon Merrick there, who'll be there for quite some time. And then you still have Trayvon Mullen in the background. He played like, what, 8 games maybe last year, maybe even less than that last year. He's battled with some injuries, but when he has been healthy, he beat out people like Garyon Conley. I know it's Garyon Conley, but still, Trayvon Mullen, I've always thought is a talented cornerback. There's going to be some tough competition in this cornerback room. Casey Hayward has moved on and gone to the Falcons. We thought maybe he'd go to the Colts, but Casey Hayward's moved on. Right now, it just seems like if I had to guess today, here's what's going on. Rocky Ya-Sin and Anthony Everett, I think they're for sure starting. Like, they are leading candidates to be the starting outside cornerbacks. For sure. I mean, the coaching staff went out of the way and grabbed him. If you go out of your way and grab these people, if you trade Ngakoue for a corner, if you spend $4.5 million for a corner and they don't start, I mean, that's going to make you look bad as a coaching staff. So they had the advantage to start on the outside. The question is, does Nate Hobbs still remain in the slot, right? We know Nate Hobbs had a great year last year, but that wasn't Gus Bradley's defense when you're playing primarily zone coverage. I think about 90% of the snaps were in zone coverage. So the question is, can Nate Hobbs be a man corner in the slot? And that's exactly what you're going to have to do in this Patrick Graham defense. So it'll be interesting. Nate Hobbs, Trayvon Mullen maybe competing for the slot. Mullen is obviously going to compete with either Anthony Everett or Rocky Ya-Sin from the outside, and it'll be a tough battle. It'll be a tough battle, but very clearly, Josh McDaniels and Patrick Graham and Dave Ziegler have set it up where Rocky Ya-Sin and Anthony Everett are the projected starters for outside cornerback. So at least we have some competition. At least we have the secondary solidified. Maybe we grab another safety to compete with Jonathan Abram. We know we brought back Dallin Levitt, expected to maybe be more of a special teams player, but hey, maybe he can compete with Jonathan Abram. Who knows? But Abram definitely, this is a big year for Jonathan Abram. Like, if it's just going to be these type of seasons he's had where, yeah, he makes some big hits, some good plays in the run game, but the coverage is just still not there, and if he goes through another injury, it's very difficult to justify exercising his 5th-year option or even extending him, right? We'll see what happens there. Brandon Bolden was also signed towards the end of free agency, a 1-year deal. We don't know even if it is a 1-year deal. I mean, I anticipate it is. He did the presser today. Look, I mean, you need a third down back. You need somebody who could block, right? And Brandon Bolden, he has been in Josh McDaniels' system for quite some time. And obviously, it's not like he was competing for starting jobs in free agency. So this guy could be a good person to teach pretty much, the rest of the staff, Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs. He could teach them the offense, which would be really interesting to see Brandon Bolden do. And he talked about that in the presser today about how, he knows Josh McDaniels' system. And then once you learn it once, he says it's kind of like, I forgot how he described it, but it's ingrained in your mind once you learned it once. So definitely going to be more of an educator there because we have so much invested in Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs. Those guys got to play, but Brandon Bolden's definitely going to be piece. And who knows, running backs get banged up all the time. So, you're going to see Brandon Bolden out there as well. Mack Hollins was also signed, the former Dolphin, for a 1-year deal. And Mack Hollins, we're trying to remember where we remember this guy from. Where do we remember Mack Hollins from? It's the guy who caught the pass, Ryan Fitzpatrick to Mack Hollins over Netway, over Damon Arnett, for the Dolphins to beat the Raiders with 14 seconds left in a miracle play and a dagger through the heart of our 2020 season. So Mack Hollins is more of a depth piece, right? Mack Hollins is more of a depth piece. I believe when I looked at the numbers, he had 24 targets last year with the Miami Dolphins in a wide receiving room that, outside of Devontae Parker, outside of a couple people, Jalen Waddle, not too impressive, right? I think Lynn Bowden Jr. is a part of that wide receiver core still. So, hey, big body receiver though, 6'4", ran like a 4.55 40 time, if I'm not mistaken, weighs over 200 pounds, could be somebody who, his physical type is more Darren Waller. He's honestly like a less fast Darren Waller when you look at his size and speed and body type, but this guy can catch. This guy has hands. The Dolphins fan base loves him. I think their relationship to Mack Hollins, the Dolphins, to me, it kind of reminds me of how Raiders fans feel about Seth Roberts, where he's not the guy you want starting, but you have so many memories of him making miracle catches, clutch plays, in the red zone especially. And that Ryan Fitzpatrick throw to Mack Hollins is something that Dolphins fans remember for a while. And so, hey, we'll see. Hopefully he can be clutch and come in for us. And look, we've been needing a wide receiver. At this point, it's been quite frustrating, the fact that we only have Bryan Edwards, Hunter Renfrow under contract, and now Mack Hollins. So at least we got 3 wide receivers, Derek Carr. Derek Carr says he needs some help, right? He needs some help for his team to do well this year. Well, you got Bryan Edwards, Mack Hollins, and Renfrow. So and Waller as well. So good luck if he's healthy. Darius Phillips, we signed the first day of free agency, 1 year, $2.25 million a year. We talked about that already, though, at great length. And at this point, we didn't know if Darius Phillips was going to be a starter or not day one of the tampering window. And now it appears that he's going to be a depth piece, an insurance policy for Rocky Sin, for Anthony Everett, for Nate Hobbs. But who knows? Like, at this point, who really knows? Because you're investing $2.2 million in Darius Phillips, a lot of money in assets in Rocky Sin and Anthony Everett. Are Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Mullen going to be starting? Like, Darius Phillips came here to play. So from Darius Phillips' mindset, he's trying to make sure he keeps Mullen and Nate Hobbs off the field so he could play. I mean, I know it's a dog-eat-dog world. That's what it's all about. That's what it's like, right? That's what you're thinking if you're Darius Phillips is, look, I could outplay these dudes. I think I fit this scheme better. So who knows? Maybe we can see a new secondary. I don't know what Patrick Graham's plans are, but I will say, cornerback room, intense competition. I would like us to create some competition in especially the strong safety room with Jonathan Abram, and hopefully we address that today. And obviously we just need more competition in the receiving room, and we need competition on offense, especially with offensive tackle and guard. Those are huge needs for us right now. Jacob Johnson is going to be taking over for Alec Ingold at fullback. Patriots really like that guy. He's had some creative plays. Check him out in 2020, playing with Cam Newton. Really creative plays that they did with Cam Newton. You had Cam Newton faking the power run, and then you have Jacob Johnson kind of chip at a defender, let him pass by and receive the touchdown pass. So watch 2020 highlights of Jacob Johnson. Watch some of the interesting plays that Josh McDaniels drew up with him when Cam Newton was at quarterback. You'll be really surprised. This guy, I originally thought, okay, is this guy just going to be more of a lead blocker, and Alec Ingold is kind of more of a utility fullback where he can do everything? But no, Jacob Johnson could catch the ball, and he's clutch, and Patriots fans really like this guy. So I'm stoked we got him. I anticipate the reason why the contract details aren't out is because perhaps he did command like $3 million. Who knows? But got rid of Unique Ngakoue, Carl Nassib, and Nick Kwiatkowski. A lot of these people have left. We cut Littleton, obviously, as well, post-June for Littleton and Nassib, but now Ngakoue traded to the Colts for Rocky Sin. So we'll see how that works out. What is going on right now in the chat? What is going on?
Oh, no. They're all talking about trading me.